One go.
Hi guys, we're Bromance of 3 Gamers and we're playing Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Way Story. I'm Mike.
I'm John.
I'm Bob.
Okay. You want to tell us about, fucking Mega Man, Bob?
I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console, and it's really hard.
Anything going to keep us down, John?
No, you know what, Mike? You wanted to keep this professional. I was going to try and keep this professional, but since you're just going to be like, nah, fuck it.
Nah,
Oh,
fuck it.
cool. We gained
Pretty
control of the
much.
North.
We're like Santa Claus.
Yeah. We threw
Yeah.
Machow out and,
Except for that little part of Korea over there, because, no one wants that little part of Korea.
Or any part of Mongolia.
No, that's Korea.
I know, but Mongolia is right next to it. Nobody wants any of Mongolia.
Lu Bu came from there. He's the greatest Chinese Mongolian warrior ever.
And that's enough reason why you do not want that
Part of me
gun.
wants to think they're all as tall as Lubu.
Part of me wants to think that Bob should have given back Jing province after he said he was going to.
It was a fair deal. Did you file the report with Guan Yu?
I filed the report, alright. Give me a couple more. Give me a year and you'll find out how it went.
Oh, right. This is the Wei side of the Battle of Hefei.
Well, no, this is like 6 years, actually.
Yeah, I know. 6 years before. And look, such wonderful characters.
Oh, who am I gonna play as?
Oh, don't tease don't tease the
Liao.
one person who watches the video.
Exactly.
No, it's fine. Make it interesting. Zhang Liao.
Zhang Liao is the only one that's really worth it at this battle. I enjoy Zhang Liao the most.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
These two are just like simpering little bitches.
Yeah, because Eugene's like, I don't want to guard the castle. I want to go out and fight. And Zhang Liao's like, no, our lord told you to stay.
I love the fact that
I admire his spirit, but at the same time, it's 800 against 100,000.
Yeah, and he wins.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that yet.
No, he doesn't, but he wins.
He doesn't need
Because
to know
he
that.
stayed in the castle.
No, because they lost sight of him multiple times. Which
No, I was talking about you, Agent.
It also didn't help
You
that there
agent
was a
stays in the
disease
castle.
outbreak and a whole bunch of other shit happens.
Yeah, battles are hard.
This is like a year-long siege. Because apparently Cao Cao just sent everyone to Mount Dingjun.
He sent everyone to Han, because at this time actually Tong Gate is like starting to happen, so he sent everybody to go deal with them and the Hongzhong reason. And
But the game doesn't really do a good job of explaining that. You
Yeah.
make it think like, And then 2 days after Tong Gate happened, Liu Bei got control of Shu.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Liu
I mean,
Bei.
I'm always surprised when I hear how long some of these things really take.
you know,
So they stood for a year?
they also don't mention the fact that
Is that a
No.
tank? That's a tank.
You also not know how sieges work, Bob. Sieges usually don't take
yeah, they're not
like a
done
day.
in like an instant.
They usually last.
Oh, no, I know they take a while, but... I don't know, that difference in
back.
numbers...
The longest siege is in like the Sengoku Jedi, where it's like over 10 years. And,
It makes sense that it would take a while. It just sounds like, 100,000 against 800.
Yeah.
It sounds like that would have been over faster, and I feel like that's what everyone was expecting.
Yeah, that's what he was expecting.
Of course, Zhang Liao pulls a Leonidas, and...
Well, the other thing is you're defending, and it's kind of one of those, like, if you don't have siege equipment or anything else, it's kind of hard to do it.
Eh.
Plus, it doesn't help that Cao Cao was able to predict that, a lot of the shit that goes down at Hefei. He's like, yeah. He's like, here's the plan. Li Dian and Zhang Liao. Go fuck people up in the field. And Zhang Liao's like, I was already going to, but now that you said something, I'm on it.
Oh yeah, I loved reading that when I was looking at the, when I was looking in the encyclopedia and 8 Empires. It was, here's how the battle went. Wu had 100,000, Wei had 800, and 3 officers. And Cao Cao sent a letter saying, you two go out and fight people, and you guard the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he picked the one wrong person to stick in the castle.
Really? Did
Yeah.
it not go well?
Well, Eugene.
Eugene did complain about it, but
He
you
was
know,
he also.
It worked out in the end.
It did, but he's also a Napoleonic complex type of person.
he was very small.
He was also.
and got pissed off at a lot of shit.
And he also, was kind of like how they portray here. He always wanted to be in the fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, you kind of want to go out and be the hero because, admittedly, a lot of fame goes to Zhang Liao after this.
Well, yeah.
The problem is that Zhang
Because
Liao
he is-
already had a. He was already well beloved by Cao Cao and everybody else because
Now he's just a nightmare story for several centuries.
He's a nightmare story for Wu. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you go by 7th story, Sun Quan stabs the fuck out of him on that boat.
Which is odd because they said he didn't die in battle.
Not like Zhang He, who got, ambushed.
He got screwed over by Sima Yi.
Oh yeah, I remember. He fell. Zhang
They-
He fell for an ambush, didn't he?
One of the battles they'll show later, he didn't fall for an ambush. Sima Yi
sent
knew
him.
exactly what was going to happen. It was just like, yeah, I'm tired of Zhang He.
That's why most people don't also like Cao Pi, because they view he loses, the last 3 of the 5 generals in his reign.
Yeah. I mean, Cao Cao loses 2 of them, but you
Yeah.
know,
Wait, does he? I thought
Eugene dies sometime after this.
Eugene dies a year before Fawn Castle.
Yeah, he dies
And Eugene doesn't die until...
after Fawn Castle, but he dies in disgrace.
Yeah, but...
And he's
wasn't
also
that,
disgraced because of the battle.
Wasn't that also Cao Pi's? Wasn't he...
Yeah.
Wasn't that Cao Pi's reign, though, when he died?
I think he dies right in and around the time that Cao Cao and Xiahou Dun died.
Yeah, because Cao Cao lived a while after Fawn Castle.
No, he did.
I thought for sure.
He did live for a little bit. He lived
a
for,
year.
He lived
Yeah,
like
because I
half a
remember the
year.
story.
Yeah, he lived for half a year. He didn't live that long.
Yeah, he didn't live
Xiahou
to,
Dun dies a year after. Cao Cao dies 10 years after Fawn Castle. It's like, whatever. He dies like the same year, maybe like a couple months after Guan Yu.
Ooh, what's going on?
The feared and powerful
These
Zhang
2
Liao.
goobers.
You know what's hilarious?
Is that Jiraiya?
Isn't
Yes, that's right, voice actor.
Cool.
is in history? He kicks the shit out of all 3 of these guys. Zhang Liao.
Oh yeah.
He ran over, punched Gan Ning in the face, knocked Ling Tong to the ground. Lu Meng's like, I do not approve of
And
this.
then Mike's favorite character gets killed by a no-name.
Well, Gan Ning is one of my favorites. Zhang Liao took up a higher space in it after a while.
Why? Because you don't like his 1920s style of how I scrap?
I know.
No, it's just more of a...
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Li Dian, because
That's not it.
half
Li
these,
Dian could have been
half these
better.
lines like make me think,
I have to change
what is
who
he?
I am.
He's cringeworthy, that's what the problem is.
You know, my other favorite cringeworthy moment is, even if you're playing as a male woman and you save him, he goes like, I think I'm in love, and I'm like, the f- did you just say? I don't want your love and affection.
I want to win this.
Who's his uncle?
Some douchebag.
Some douchebag who got killed by Zhang Liao when he served Lu Bu.
It's like whatchamacallit.
Listen, half these people were serving different lords by the time all this goes on. I mean, Ling Tong hated Gan Ning for the longest time.
Oh yeah, that I remember. They had a rivalry because didn't Gan Ning kill Ling Tong's
That's,
dad? Or...
that's not a rivalry, okay? I don't care what people...
In history,
It
they
turns
never
into-
reconcile, actually.
You can say, you could say later on they, develop a friendly rivalship, but at the beginning, I guarantee you,
No, even towards the end, that whole, like, oh, Gan Ning saves Ling Tong and then Ling Tong's nice about it, that's all the book. It's not...
well, I mean, let's be honest, man.
He didn't
Would you still forgive a bastard who, killed your dad and then was invited into the army and gets the same almost position as you do?
Not the same position. He's got better
Depends on how much I
position.
like
You're
my
right.
dad.
Gan Ning, because of how awesome Gan Ning is, he wins so many more positions than either one of them. Like,
Well, that's because he was a pirate.
Who is this other guy you're talking about?
Incredibly strong.
Lu Meng.
Okay.
Because it's Lu Meng, Ling Tong, and whatchamacallit. They don't really do a good job of explaining that.
Lu
they're-
Su?
Not Lu Su,
Lu Su's later,
Ling
dude.
Tong. They call all three of them just like the little triumvirate that, you know.
Oh, wow, I just
They have the
realized-
most interactions in history with.
Just realized I recognize this battlefield.
You know what the funny thing is, though?
We'll need ladders to get up
What
this
is it,
I believe there
how they portray Wu's story. You know, Lu Su looked up to Zhou Yu. You know, the first strategist trained the next strategist. Then Lu Su trains Lu Meng. Lu Meng then trains Lu Su. And it's like you said, they go from being a strategist. It
To
goes
a general.
right, exactly. Zhao Yun Zhou Yu was the first general. He was the first strategist. He was mostly a strategist and a chancellor.
Hey,
Lu
look.
Su was more of a chancellor and everything because he was more strong with, diplomacy. Lu Meng was a general / strategist because he grew up in his youth very hot-headed and arrogant.
He kicked everybody's ass.
Exactly.
He didn't
Then
care
he
about
was
it.
like, okay. Then Lu Su was like, you should get a little smarter. And he's like, well, if that rake man says I should. And then Lu Su is just a commander.
Alright, Lu Xun.
Yes, Lu Shu.
But you know what the funny part is? It's because they do a horrible job yet again of explaining that
Oh, and then Lu Kang
Lu
is
Su-
just a general too. Cause
Liu Kang is just a general. Lu Xun is whatchamacallit. Lu Xun is a diplomat. That's what I meant to say. Like, he literally does all the awesome strategies, and then he's like, yeah, now I gotta fix everything in the kingdom, and yeah. He became like a politician, a statesman.
Well, they kind of had to, because if I remember correctly, things weren't going well for the Soon family.
They were going alright, but...
Well, that depends on, Actually, I think, doesn't Twain die before his, daughters begin that whole, civil war for the throne?
No, I don't think they do, because there's a lot of stuff that comes out of that, like the fact that he gets rid of his awesome sons because, there is again a civil war. There's a lot of civil wars at the end.
Listen, Bob, what you have to understand is, in this history, these people are more Takeda than Takeda, because they go out of their way sometimes to fuck the good sons that should take over. Like Liu Bei's good son, remember? The one
Yeah,
one who killed himself saying, Dad, I told you, we should.
But no, there was a legitimate reason for that, and it's because he wasn't blood.
Liu Bei's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then Liu Bei has
Liu Fang wasn't, or Liu Fei or whatever his name was. He wasn't actually
Liu
his
Fang
blood.
is the guy that was adopted and
Yeah.
has to kill himself because he didn't send aid. I'm thinking.
No, because then there's the other one. That's also
that's the other one I'm talking about.
Liu. It's also another Liu F.
Yeah.
And he does fine until they get to the Battle of Chengdu. He still serves amongst them. He's also adopted, but once they lose Chengdu, he goes in front of his adopted father's statue, goes, "You should have picked better," and then kills himself.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Lu Xun, even in history, is not painted very favorably. And then I love this. You just punch the dams, and it didn't work. I think it's because people are on there.
You know what?
You know who I want them to add in Jin, but I know they won't. It makes me upset.
Who's that?
Peng Hua. Peng De's son who grows up, and in the invasion of Chengdu, essentially one man kills the rest of the Guan clan.
Genocides the entire Guan family.
He's attributed with his, killing of a third-generation Guan.
It took a second generation Peng to kill a third generation.
But then, let's be fair, though. That first-generation Guan, everything after him didn't really live up to the Guan status.
Yeah, they were pretty short on time to do that.
Well, Swa, they don't know existed or not. Ping died the earliest, and no one knows if he was going to be... Most people assume he was, going to be the one that succeeded Guan Yu.
The little circle isn't coming back. Is that a problem?
I think it is. I'm gonna ride away. Okay, it's been destroyed.
Guan
Oh, okay.
I guess it
The
really
punch
needs.
lagged.
It
Punch
re-
lagged.
Yeah, it really
And then
needed to
Guan
think about what I was
Xing.
doing.
And then Guan Xing, who was supposed to have promise, but he dies young.
Well, he didn't screw up too much. Like he dies at one battle. And
Yeah.
it's like
Just like Zhang Ba dies.
yeah, Zhang Ba gets killed being a
And you know what the funny
courtier.
thing is? He's not even the good son. The one I told you about. Zhang Sushui or whatever his name is. He was the bombastic son. Because he just inherits, like, he inherited his father's, like, battle prowess and everything. I'm like, why the fuck doesn't he get any time? And it was like, and you even asked the code guys, they're like, yeah, the only reason we added Zhang Bao, we were gonna add Guan Xing, you know, because of that whole story about them being sworn brothers.
Yeah, and it fills out Yi Ling and helps set up for the future generation.
It does, but I'd rather have the bombastic son.
I don't know why they don't do Zhao Yun's son.
Yeah, the first one or the second one?
Either one.
Yeah, they are.
'Cause-
They both actually.
Because they do enough in the post story that
I
you
think.
know,
I believe the oldest dies in battle and the youngest outlives him.
yeah, that's
I think
fine
it's
either
Zhao.
way.
I think it goes Zhao Gong and I think Zhao Tong.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not in the game. Like if you're gonna have it, at least have someone somewhat cool. Because I mean,
You know what? If they were gonna do that, let's be honest. If they were gonna add anyone to give Zhao Yun death, we already know who they'll add.
probably his wife.
His fictitious wife, Ma Lu Ling. They'll add her because, you know, that will fill another woman quota. Which
Yeah.
I'm okay with. I just, you know, don't add women characters, you know, if they're not going to be interesting, you know?
Yeah, that's why I wanted Xin Xiang in
It's
the
like,
game.
let's give Cao Pi's second concubine after Zhang Ji because he actually has Zhang Ji kill herself. Because the concubine made him like, alright, what would she do? She would be mortal enemies with Zhang Ji. It's like, what's the point of adding her then? It would make more
And
sense
when-
to add Cao Cao's concubine, that's Cao Pi's mother, and Cao, what's his name's mother? No. Because remember, Cao Pi's not from the same mother as Cao.
Well, no, I was just trying to figure out if
The boar puncher. They're the same brother. They're the same mother.
what, Zhao Zhang or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
Cao Zhang and the one that writes the poetry, they're all actually came from the one concubine. Who was Cao Cao's favorite concubine because she actually raised all his kids. The one they have in Blast, Lady Ba, whatever. She deserves to be in it because, you know, that would add more to Cao Cao's story, you know, as more than just, you know, I'm pure ambition. It would actually, you know, it would make him like
Yeah,
Sue's
but
John,
they-
you know, a little.
Yeah, I'm all for an interesting story.
At least in like 7 there was that interesting story about it. And I'm sure they're gonna add Xiahou Ji since they made that like the mascot of Moose Out Blast.
Zhang Fei's wife, right?
Yeah,
The
the
one
one
he
he
kidnaps?
kidnaps.
Yeah, but what does she do?
Wait, what?
Other than the fact that she's a little girl.
Yeah, he kidnaps a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And
It's,
she's
Xia
Xing Sai's
Yuan's
mother
daughter
and-
Xia Haba's sister. So Xing Sai is technically Xia Haba's niece,
Oh yeah.
which they never touch on.
I remember Zhao Ba.
Also, Xia Haba
I remember
was like
his
80
character description saying that his sister married Zhang Fei when they ran away to Shu.
Well,
Yeah.
run away to Shu. Like, you know, there was a conversation between the two of them.
Hey man, it's not like she ever went back either.
Yeah. Well, at a certain point, you know.
It's also, you know, we don't talk about Liu Bei's wife. You know, the one. I'm sorry, not his wife. 'Cause
Which-
she never made wife status.
Which one? He had a wife.
Yeah, Xun Sheng Zhang is usually recognized as
It
one of his wives.
is considered one of his wives.
The
but,
one that had his son, you know, the heir. That's not.
Oh, the
she
one,
ne-
Sean?
the one that dies at
She doesn't die.
Xi'an.
She actually lives, but she never got like, you know, wife status. I just love that. And then I love the fact that did So have any sons, or did he just have a daughter?
Sun Ce.
Yeah,
I think he had a son, but again, one of those.
I know his
like,
daughter is the most famous because, you know, she marries Lu Su.
I think he has 2 sons.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. You guys know a lot more of the history.
Yeah, Bob.
I can't wait because I want to see if they're gonna do.
I hope they don't pull a 6.
I
don't want them.
What does that mean?
I don't want them.
basically they'll
Dynasty,
reboot the
remember
series.
all the characters in
and
Dynasty Warriors 5, all the people you had.
Yeah.
Picture 6, but you take away the vast majority of it. You
Shang Tsai, I think.
She doesn't show up. Jing Wei doesn't show up. You just get, was it Shu got Zhao Yun.
You got like the most
Liu,
basic of units.
You essentially got like what would happen if like Dynasty Warriors 2.
It was like a reboot, basically.
Exactly, but then 6 was also the beginning of the clones, because everyone in 6 was almost a clone.
Yeah, because they all had pretty much the same weapons.
Exactly. It wasn't bad, but it was like, also it's like, it'd be like, I have Han Dong, or Zhu Yu. That would really fuck over Zhu Yu if they did a 6 and he doesn't make it, because then he only shows up for an Empire's game.
Yeah.
And people
Alright, I remember this.
which means technically... Oh.
Yeah.
At least it's not like,
dude, Dynasty Warriors 3 version of this is hysterical.
Wasn't it also Sevens that was also hysterical? Because it's like,
Still,
he doesn't even
moved
jump.
forces and drove them
I
off.
think he gets like thrown across by Zhoutai.
I think he does. I forget. I just know that...
And then Zhang Liao here gives
I must say,
most bombastic speech about kicking someone's ass.
we can achieve when we combine.
I will say this. They did lose a good officer in Tai Shi.
that's right.
It did.
But if you know what's even funnier? When we played Extreme Legends with you-know-who, and we were all sitting there, and we all talked about like how Liu Bei should have had all these bombastic officers.
He should have. There were so many times where he had officers like Tai Shi.
He could have had
and
Tai Shi
others.
serve him, but Tai Shi is like, no, I must serve another.
They also don't talk about it, but at the Battle of Sha Pi, when they have Zhang Liao could have joined up with Shu. Liu Bei, like the a-hole that he is, goes, No, I don't want Zhang Liao. What's he gonna do? He's not gonna be bombastic.
I will say this, Liu Bei did make the stupid choice of letting Lu Bu into his kingdom and giving him a castle.
Yeah, he tried to be nice to a guy who came to
wasn't
visit, and he turned out to be evil.
It wasn't that bad. It just
It wasn't that bad, but also...
He was just a really bad tenant.
He thought he could have whatchamacallit take him down, but he was like, Lu Bu can be controlled. I can control a wild beast. Have you ever seen a wild beast that you didn't think would bite you?
Exactly.
And then Zoro showed up. And Asurud.
But
Across Shapi Castle.
But the best part about that is, he really, that stage does it best, because he literally does wait for Liu Bei to be so far away from the capital, dealing with Yuan Shu, which they don't talk about that much, that it was actually Cao Cao, Sun Ce,
and
Liu Bei one last time actually teamed up to deal with Yuan Shu.
It's not just one last time. They do it 3 more times. Because they don't beat Yuan Shu the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because they go against Yuan Shu survives.
Yeah, but
somehow.
They don't tell you that. Yuan Shu, when he got the Imperial Edict from Sun Ce, declared himself emperor.
Lu Bu takes over Shu province, and then again they have to attack Yuan Shu. So it's all 3 of them plus Lu Bu.
Yeah.
There was a lot of history in this episode.
Yuan Shu kind of deserves to be a character.
Oh, there's more.
But the only problem is, actually no, he would be just like Deng Zhuo. He would just have a shit ton of generic officers, and he'd be the only.
Well, no, he'd have like 2 officers that are actually kind of awesome, and they did do whatchamacallit. They put them at Blast.
Wait, wasn't that Yuan Shao's guys? The ones that
No,
killed?
there's 2 that they put for Yuan Shao,
okay.
but there's also 2 for
Because
Yuan
I know they
Shu.
put the 2 guys they put for Yuan Shao.
But we can discuss this next time.
Yeah.
On Bromance of the 3 gamers.
Gamers.
Mount Ding Jun.
Get ready.
If you want to be a true hero of the 3 gamers, just please hit like, comment, or subscribe. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Ikito said.